Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a closer look at one of the most interesting ideas in the world of compact mobility, the Honda Micro Campers 2027. Imagine taking the practicality of a small city vehicle and combining it with the freedom of a tiny camper. The result is a vehicle designed not simply to get you from one place to another, but to make the journey itself part of the adventure. Before we begin, it is important to clarify that the Honda Micro Camper concept for 2027 should be viewed as a forward-looking idea rather than a confirmed production specification. Honda has a long history of developing compact, practical, and highly efficient vehicles, so the idea of a miniature camper fits naturally into that philosophy. What makes this concept exciting is the possibility of creating a vehicle that is small enough for everyday urban driving while still offering enough flexibility for weekend travel and outdoor adventures. The first thing that stands out about a micro camper is its size. Traditional motorhomes can be difficult to drive through narrow streets, expensive to operate, and challenging to park. A compact Honda camper could approach the problem from the opposite direction. Instead of making a camper larger, the goal would be to make every centimeter more useful. The exterior could feature a compact body with a tall roof, short overhangs, large windows, and a highly functional rear section. The design would likely prioritize practicality over unnecessary decoration. A short wheelbase could make the vehicle easy to maneuver, while a relatively upright body would create more usable interior space. Honda's modern design language could also give the camper a surprisingly sophisticated appearance. LED lighting, aerodynamic body panels, compact alloy wheels, and a clean front fascia could make it look more like a modern urban vehicle than a traditional recreational van. That distinction is important because the ideal micro camper needs to work equally well on Monday morning in the city and Saturday afternoon at a campsite. Inside, the most important feature would be flexibility. In a vehicle this small, you cannot simply add more space. You have to make the existing space perform multiple jobs. A rear seating system could potentially fold flat to create a sleeping area. Storage compartments could be integrated beneath the seats, along the doors, and underneath the floor. A compact table could fold away when it is not needed, while a modular kitchen unit could provide basic cooking functionality without taking up permanent space. This is where a Honda Micro Camper could become genuinely interesting. Instead of thinking of the interior as a miniature living room, think of it as a transforming space. During the day, it could function as a comfortable passenger and work area. At night, the seats and interior modules could be rearranged into a sleeping environment. A smart interior layout could make the vehicle feel significantly larger than it actually is. High-mounted storage would help keep the floor clear, while sliding or folding components could allow different configurations depending on the journey. One person might use the space for camping equipment and bicycles, while another could prioritize sleeping comfort and cooking equipment. Technology would also play a major role. A 2027-era Honda Micro Camper could potentially feature a modern digital instrument display, smartphone connectivity, navigation, wireless charging, USB-C ports, and a central touchscreen. Depending on the final powertrain and equipment level, advanced driver assistance technologies could also make long journeys less stressful. Safety would naturally be one of the most important areas. A small vehicle does not have to mean a basic vehicle. Modern compact cars can incorporate advanced driver assistance systems, and a future micro camper could potentially use technologies such as automatic emergency braking, lane assistance, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, parking assistance, and a surround view camera system. For a vehicle designed around travel, visibility would be especially important. Large windows and a well-designed seating position could provide the driver with excellent awareness of the surrounding environment. That would be particularly useful when maneuvering through crowded urban areas or navigating a campsite. Now let's talk about performance. The purpose of a micro camper is not to deliver sports car acceleration. Its performance priorities are efficiency, smoothness, reliability, and easy driving. A compact powertrain could be perfectly suited to those requirements. If Honda develops such a vehicle with a hybrid system, the combination of an efficient gasoline engine and electric assistance could provide strong low-speed response while keeping fuel consumption under control. Alternatively, an electric version could make even more sense for short-distance travel, especially for drivers who primarily use the camper around cities and nearby destinations. An electric micro camper would have some interesting advantages. Electric motors provide instant torque, which can make a small camper feel responsive even when carrying passengers, luggage, camping equipment, and food. Regenerative braking could recover energy during deceleration, while home or campsite charging could potentially make overnight charging convenient. The biggest challenge would be range. A camper carries additional weight, and aerodynamic efficiency can be affected by a taller body. For that reason, battery capacity and energy management would be extremely important in an electric version. A successful Honda Micro Camper would need to balance battery size, vehicle weight, interior space, and overall cost. Driving dynamics would also matter. Because the vehicle would be compact, it could potentially feel agile and easy to position on the road. A tight turning circle would be particularly valuable in cities, parking lots, and narrow camping areas. At the same time, suspension tuning would need to provide a comfortable ride despite the short dimensions. The tires and suspension would have to deal with different environments. Most of the time, the camper might operate on smooth highways and city roads, but owners could also take it onto gravel roads, mountain routes, or uneven campground surfaces. That does not necessarily mean the vehicle needs to become a serious off-roader. Instead, the focus could be on reasonable ground clearance, durable suspension components, and predictable handling. One of the biggest advantages of a micro camper is operating cost. A large recreational vehicle can consume considerable amounts of fuel, while a compact vehicle could potentially be much more economical. Smaller tires, a lighter body, and an efficient powertrain could all contribute to lower running costs. Parking could be another major advantage. Imagine arriving in a crowded tourist town where large motorhomes struggle to find space. A micro camper could potentially fit into ordinary parking areas much more easily. That gives owners access to destinations that may be inconvenient or impractical for larger recreational vehicles. The compact dimensions could also make the vehicle attractive to people who do not want a dedicated camper sitting unused for most of the year. If the design allowed easy conversion between camping and everyday configurations, one vehicle could serve as a commuter, family transport, road trip vehicle, and weekend camper. That versatility could become the strongest selling point. There is also an emotional side to the concept. Camping is not always about having the biggest vehicle or the most luxurious interior. Sometimes it is about simplicity. A small camper encourages you to carry only what you really need. It can make a short weekend escape feel spontaneous instead of requiring weeks of preparation. Honda could potentially build on that philosophy with modular accessories. Owners might be able to choose compact kitchen equipment, additional storage modules, roof-mounted equipment, sleeping accessories, awnings, portable power systems, or bicycle carriers. A modular approach would allow different customers to personalize the same basic vehicle. For example, one owner could create a minimalist solo camper, while another could configure the vehicle for two-person weekend trips. A third owner might use it primarily as a practical city vehicle and only install the camping equipment when planning a trip. That kind of flexibility could make the micro camper attractive beyond traditional camping enthusiasts. The exterior could also incorporate practical features such as a powered tailgate, sliding doors, roof rails, integrated exterior lighting, and convenient access to storage areas. Small details could make a huge difference in daily use. In a vehicle with limited space, every storage compartment needs to be easy to access and intelligently positioned. Comfort would be another important consideration. A micro camper should not feel like a compromise every time you spend the night inside. A properly designed sleeping platform, supportive seats, ventilation, climate control, blackout shades, and effective insulation could transform the interior from a simple vehicle cabin into a surprisingly comfortable overnight environment. Climate management could be particularly important. Camping in hot or cold weather places additional demands on a small interior. Efficient heating and cooling would be essential, especially if the vehicle were designed for year-round use. In an electric version, energy-efficient climate systems would also be important for preserving battery range. Noise reduction would matter as well. A quiet cabin can make a huge difference during long drives, especially